This is a 2002 Ford Crown Victoria with a 4.6 liter V8. It's the W engine code on there, and it has a blower motor which does not work. The vehicle is equipped with a automatic uh, blower motor system, and it's controlled by a module. So what I'm pointing at right here is the module itself. It's held on there by two 5/16 bolts. So you're going to have to remove these heater hoses and also the evap canister purge valve, which is that black thing that sits on top. Now what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to unplug the connector off the module, and I'm going to bypass it with a jumper to verify that the blower motor itself is okay. So you have to dig back there and pull this connector out. Now what I'm pointing at here are the two spades connectors that you're going to jump across. It's a 5-wire connector, and if you look closely, the three terminals are small and two of them are big. So basically what you're jumping across are the two big ones. So I'm going to grab a jumper here. There's a jumper. And you just put it on that connector right there. And when you turn the ignition on, you should hear the blower motor go to full blower motor mode at that time. So that at least verifies that the blower motor does work. So here I'm removing the canister purge valve. There's a connector on it, a vacuum line on the bottom of it, and it's held on there by two 8mm nuts. So you just take the nuts off and you can pull it down so you can pull the hoses off. So here I'm removing the spring clamps that keep the heater hoses attached to the heater core. I'm using a spring clamp tool, but you can use a pair of pliers to do what I'm doing here. And then what I use to pull the hoses off is I have an old spark plug boot puller, and I just use that and I grab the hose right where the tube of the heater cores are, and I just squeeze it and twist it back and forth so that the hose breaks loose, because you're not going to be able to pull the hose straight back. So I just use a twisting motion back and forth, and you should be able to break the hoses loose. If not, you're probably going to have to slice it a little bit with a razor blade and cut the ends off, and that way you can put them back when you're done. So this here's a picture of the two pliers that I use. The one on the left is my favorite. That's the one that's actually made for spark plug boots. And then the one on the right is a pliers for hoses, but they're a little more aggressive and they tend to damage the hoses. So I like the one on the left because it has the little rubber tips to it, and it protects the hose. Here I finally decided to pull the canister purge valve that's in the way. I really recommend that you do this first, just because it's a pain in the butt. And these connectors are hard to remove. So what I do is I take a pair of side cutters and I clip just one side of it, and that way you're able to pull the hoses off. Here I'm using a quarter drive wobble socket 5/16 with an extension and small ratchet. This is the best way to get this off. So I'm just going to unscrew these bolts off, and then from here I can try and get the module out. Now here I'm starting to pull the module out, In the end, I realized that that hose on the left there, the heater hose, it's best if you pull that hose off first. I was able to get the module out anyways, but in the reinstallation you'll see I'll have to take that hose off, so I recommend you pull the hose off first. This is the Ford Motorcraft number, so if you can go look for this part, I got it from Amazon. Got a pretty good price. So now I'm using the spring clamp tool again to remove that bottom clamp. This is a tight fit down here, so I was just barely able to get it, and you'll see I'll crimp it and slide the clamp back up here. And then I'm going to go grab my spark plug puller tool again, and I'm going to squeeze the hose at the bottom and work it back and forth, and I'll be able to pull the hose out. Here you can see the opening of where the module is going to go. So I'm grabbing the module now, and I'm going to install it, and we're almost there. Now put your two 5/16 bolts back on, and remember, when you screw in this thing into the housing, remember that it's plastic. So once it bottoms out, it's just a little tug. Do not over tighten these things, otherwise you'll strip them out. Once you have them as tight as you'd like them, then you grab your wiring harness and go ahead and plug it into your module, and you can tuck the harness up on top of the heater core tubes, and then you can start putting your hoses back. Here's a picture of the spring clamp tool that I use. You could find this probably on the internet, if not definitely off the tool trucks. And there's a picture of the old module. the final touch here is put your canister purge valve back on, put the hoses, the vacuum line, and the connector that goes on it, and then mount it back up to the top there with the two 8mm nuts. And since we lost some coolant, don't forget to top off your cooling system. You're not going to need very much, but you will need some. Good luck.